Hey, what is up, guys? Bluntguts here. This is a Watcher of Realms video. This is an exciting Watcher of Realms video for me, anyway. I'm going to show off my new Semrah GB2 team. I made the world rankings. I couldn't clear 100 million, or not 100 million, 100,000 damage mech parts. What are we calling it these days? I couldn't clear 100,000 score before I got Ingrid. And look at me now. 17.16% contribution. That means I'm at 171,559 mech parts, I think is what it is. We're going to go with mech parts. That's what we're going to go with anyway. I was using basically the same team. I had Silas in instead of Ingrid, meaning I was only bringing one Lord. I didn't have another Lord that I wanted to bring in here. It didn't make sense to bring anybody else. But otherwise, this team was the exact same. Bringing in Ingrid gave me the longevity to push my score up another 70,000, basically a 70% increase to my total score. It also means that I am now on the world rankings here. Not in the top 10, not quite, but pretty damn close. And when you look at the teams that are surrounding me, I am by far the highest team here that does not utilize a Praetus Torador comp, as far as I can see. I don't think there's anybody else on here. There's a lot of whales right around me. I feel pretty solid about this. I'm pretty happy with the way that this shook out. I think this one right here, this team with an Iovar and Leia team at 152,000, pretty impressive, Papodi. Papati, I'm not sure how you say that, but very, very cool. I'm very excited about this. Let's take a look at the damage, and I'll move myself over so that we can take a look here. And this is how everything shook out. As you can see, Ingrid is just a ridiculous badass. She is incredible. 472 million damage from her. My A5 Hex with the exclusive is second at 435 million. 397 million from Zilitu, no slouch at all. And because I brought in Ingrid, I couldn't break 100 million before with Lucius. He's at 272 million. A0 Lucius. Good God. She just changed my account. We've got some others here. Twinfiend's an enabler. What's her name? Volka is great, but she is mainly there to provide attack down or attack damage reduction on the boss. We've got Carnelian and, of course, Constance, one of my new favorite heroes now that I've got a Watchguard Lord that I really want to bring. Yeah, baby. Really exciting. Ferssi and Elowyn in there, too. A0 Elowyn, for that matter. I am really impressed by this team. It really turned my account around to get Ingrid. I mean, not that I was doing poorly before by any means. 100k mech parts is still very solid. But for somebody who was... I was routinely in the top 20 on the Guild Boss 1 rankings prior to Guild Boss 2 being released. And now, I couldn't even crack the top 100 before this. Now I'm back in the game. I really like it. Scoring really well, and I think we're going to see a lot more Ingrids in the top 100 moving forward. Obviously, if you can bring Praetus as well, that's going to be all to the good, but yeah, pretty happy with this. With that said, I am going to show you the run next. I've got a video there. I'm going to run it on 4x speed because it is 40 fucking minutes long, and I don't think anybody wants to sit through that. What I will do is... actually, you know, I think maybe 3x speed. 3x speed? Can we about 13 minutes then? I think that's a good compromise. But I also recognize the fact that you may not all want to sit through 13 minutes of GB2 action. So what I will do is I'm going to put in chapters into the run so that you can skip around and you can see the different Overdrive levels. I did make it to Overdrive 6, but I was not able to progress in Overdrive 6, mainly because my Twinfiend did die, I think at the end of the poison stage in Overdrive 5. So, yeah, really fun. Been working on this, so I'm real excited about this. Let me show you the run. I'll come back afterwards. I'll talk about gear. I'll talk about what everybody was doing. Enjoy. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed making it. So much fun. Really, really enjoyed that. I'm going to take a look at the gearing real quick. I'll also just touch on what everybody's doing as I go through the team, but this is a general showcase. I'm going to be releasing over the weekend kind of a strategy guide for Guild Boss 2 based on this team comp and what I did with all the individual heroes in here. So I'm hoping that that might be helpful to some folks who don't have Praetus, who don't have ridiculous Toreador teams and, you know, A3 plus arrogances and all the shenanigans that causes in this game mode. So hopefully this can be helpful to some folks. One thing I will note is that unlike most teams, I only have 3 ground-based units in here. So I really did push platform units onto the field. It made sense for me. Ingrid really did help that out. I think it's hard to fit in enough heroes within the range of all the different healers if you're bringing more than 6 platform units. Ingrid, however, on her A1, she does get a 20% damage reduction from enemies that are inflicted with, or afflicted with, afflicted, I guess both work, with Radiant Erosion. And she keeps Radiant Erosion up on the boss nearly 100% of the time. So she's basically got a permanent 20% damage reduction, which kind of compensated for the fact that she wasn't in Carnelian's range. Allowed me to kind of she's the lady that keeps on giving. Let's take a look at the gear real quick, and I'll talk you through what everybody was doing. Ingrid's job was doing ridiculous amounts of damage, 470 million damage on this fight. Crazy, crazy lady. I love her. I love her. What can I say? I am in love. I don't care who knows it. Oh, God, Ingrid. She does things to me. Anyway, so we've got Tear of Twilight as the artifact. We've got Warlord on the left-hand side. We've got Soulbound Arcana on the right-hand side. 26,000 attack. This is triple attack percent pieces on the right-hand side gear. She does have 329 attack speed. I wouldn't mind if that was a little bit higher, honestly. Another 30, 40 attack speed would make me really happy. I'd like to get it up over 350, but at the end of the day, I had to make a choice between more attack and crit damage and attack speed, and I chose the former. I felt like that was going to be better for me, and it worked out quite well, so I'm happy with my decision. 105% crit rate, so crit cap, 324% crit damage, and of course she is fully skilled. No need to stack any rage regen on Ingrid because she doesn't need to use her ult, and it's only 100 costs. So use it once at the beginning of the fight, leave her alone, no management. She's great. She's kind of an I win button. I won't lie. Really, I don't want to say overpowered, because to be overpowered, she'd have to be, in my opinion, like the only one that could do things like this. And Praetus does all this and more. So I don't think that if you're going to nerf her, you need to nerf Praetus as well. That's going to be my rallying cry, and I'm going to enjoy the shit out of her while she is kind of at the top of the heap right now, or at least second to Praetus maybe. But in any case, let's take a look at Lucius, A0 Lucius. Level 25 Spirit Siphon. Warlord on the left-hand side, Soulbound Arcana on the right. Almost everybody is in this exact same Warlord and Soulbound Arcana setup. He does have a little under 27,000 HP. Same with Ingrid. That did seem to be kind of, for me anyway, the magic number to hit. If I could get my damage dealers on my platform damage dealers up around 27,000 HP, they were much more survivable. So that was the goal that I had, and it seemed to pay dividends for me when I did gear everybody that way. It did certainly help. Obviously, there's gear limitations to that, but you know, if you die, you can't continue doing damage, right? So that would be something I would keep in mind. You know, the goal is to keep progressing in the fight. You'll accumulate damage over time, but if you die, then everything's going to fall apart. In any case, attack 16,725, 334 attack speed, 99% crit rate, not quite crit capped, and then 284% crit damage. He is fully skilled up as well. Then we've got Constance over here, who's got this ridiculous piece here that I got the other day. Oh my god, I was a little disappointed at first, but as far as a inspiration buffer, this is pretty much best in slot. So I don't think I'm ever going to replace this piece on my account, so I can't complain about that. Really happy with it. Constance was taking hits from the boss. She is the highest HP unit on the field, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without Carnelian, but with Carnelian and good timing on Ferssi ultimates, I was able to kind of heal Constance up after she took a big hit so that she did not get killed by the boss's AoE, so that certainly helped out. Attack a little under, just a hair under 17,000, about 4k defense, 263 attack speed. She did a decent amount of healing, almost 6 million healing throughout this, which is not bad at all. Actually, more healing than Carnelian did. Now, Carnelian's doing a lot more than just healing, but you know, for perspective, 53.5% rage regen, and yeah, just really solid all around. I do have her in an Astral Obelisk, and she is an Invigoration on the right-hand side, if I didn't mention that. Great hero. Love her even more now that I've got Ingrid, I'd say especially now that I've got Ingrid. We've got A0 Elowyn, Euphoric Orb as the artifact. She has got Salvation on the left-hand side, Invigoration on the right-hand side. All these pieces do have HP percent, and I just felt like I needed to do it, honestly. I re-geared and tried to bump up all of the support units' HP, and that helped me out quite a bit as well. I shot for 30k or higher on all of my healers and any support units, and that paid dividends. Very high attack. I needed her to heal a lot. She is by far the most healing in the run at close to 32 million healing done. She does have 58% rage regen, 502 attack speed, and just really solid all around. Healing effect at 110. What I found was that the important thing for me was getting her to a point where I could use her ultimate every other poison application in the third phase of the fight. By doing that, I was able to just kind of squeak by. In a lot of cases, you'll watch this, if you slow it down, you'll see that I almost died a number of times, but worth it at the end of the day. She is fully skilled up, was not fully skilled up until I wanted to progress in this fight, and you need her fully skilled up, in my opinion. She needs to be doing as much healing as possible. That's not my Carnelian. That is not my Carnelian. It's my Volka, though. So Volka does have her exclusive. That is really big because it helps keep the damage reduction debuff up on the boss. Really important. Warlord pieces on the left-hand side. Soulbound Arcana. She is geared much more towards maintaining Scarlet Ferment stacks and thereby maintaining the debuff on the boss. Any extra damage set stuff that I could get on her, I tossed on, but I wanted to have her really high attack speed and to be relatively tanky, so she does have over 30k HP. She's got 631 attack speed, which is kind of crazy, but again, she was not there to do damage. She was there to provide debuffs, and she did that in spades. Excellent. No complaints about my Volka, except for the fact that I would have preferred Alistair, but as I mentioned before, I only had 3 ground-based units, so I needed to have Volka in there. I couldn't afford to bring another platform unit. I did not have space for it, so I had to bring in Volka. Let's see. We've got Twinfiend here. He is in... he's in, I'd say, more support gear, honestly. Kind of like Volka. I concentrated on attack speed because I wanted him putting out his debuffs as much as possible. I also wanted to stack some HP on him because he was dying, and I needed to make sure that I gave him a little more hardiness. And so I re-geared. I've got Immortal Warrior on the left-hand side, Soulbound Arcana. He does have his exclusive artifact, which does help out. Absent the exclusive artifact, I probably would have been using a Nightmare Samsara. He is fully skilled up, sitting at 15,706 attack, 541 attack speed. 100% crit, 214% crit damage. Some rage regen would have been nice. I might next go around, I might try to add some rage regen onto him so I can cycle back to that ultimate a little bit faster. That would certainly help out. Let's take a look at Hex here, who is the second highest damage dealer. He pulled about 430 million on the boss. He has the Suture of Caprice at level 16, level 3, third level of upgrades on the Suture of Caprice. I pulled 2 of them, and I did use my Mythic Essence from the Odyssey quest on this, and I love my Hex. I think he was my favorite hero probably until I got Ingrid, and now she is unequivocally my favorite. Warlord pieces on the left-hand side, Soulbound Arcana on the right. He does have 17,932 attack, 374 attack speed, 299% crit damage, and 21% rage regen. In most fights, honestly, when you have him A5 and you've got the Suture of Caprice, the rage regen doesn't really matter, because if you're more often than not, he's going to be back at rage cap by the time the ultimate ends. But in this case, because the only source of rage regen that I have was Elowyn, that was not the case. So I needed to have a little bit of rage regen on him. He was about a little over 60% typically when his ultimate did end. So not a ton of time in between ultimates, but I was kind of used to just having it up permanently. So I've been spoiled, but very solid gear on him. He's kind of got my second best DPS set after Ingrid. Zilitu is the only damage-dealing hero that is not in Soulbound Arcana. Still Warlord on the left-hand side. We've got a level 25 Wailing Skull, which is a big contributor to her damage. At least one of your ground-based heroes does need to have this on. It is massive, and you should be stacking as much stats as you can on this hero in order to get the most out of that summon that it does. So Warlord on the left, like I said, Infernal Roar on the right. It's all attack percent pieces. I concentrated max attack on everything, and it really paid dividends. A little under 20k attack, over 30k HP, 317 attack speed. Again, another one. I would have liked to get that a little bit higher, but if I'm forced to choose between stacking more attack and crit damage and adding attack speed, I'm always going to choose adding more damage. I don't think that adding that extra 0.1 seconds is going to outweigh the loss that you're going to get if you reduce the other stats. So that is my perspective. 300% crit damage, 20% rage regen. Just a beast, fully skilled up. Great hero. Awesome to see her shine in more recent content as well. And then Ferssi is in Immortal Warrior on the left. He's got Invigoration on the right. Elysian Epitaph, I'm not really sure how this works. I think it affects his ultimate. I know it affects his main heal, but I'm always confused about the way that this works. The distinction that the game draws between single target and AoE damage, it doesn't always explicitly state whether or not it's AoE. Like, for example, on the ultimate here, it says that he heals all allies in range 1 time with a 140% healing multiplier, which you would think means that it is AoE healing, right? But typically when it is the healing type is AoE healing, it usually says so, and it doesn't say that here. So I don't know. Either way, his ultimate was healing everybody up basically to full. So, you know, it was doing its work. You can see 15,000 attack, 542 attack speed, 67 healing effect, 46% rage regen. Ferssi was really important for healing up after big AoE hits, especially that move where the boss kind of like brings up, I'm gonna get my hand onto the screen here, brings up its arm and goes like, wham, and slams down. I would use, as soon as that arm got picked up, I would drop Ferssi, Ferssi's ultimate, and timing-wise, it would go off almost immediately after the damage came out. It would heal everybody up to full, and the subsequent rocks that came down afterwards would not kill anybody because I was able to heal everybody up after that. So Ferssi is not fully skilled. This is the important one. This is the one that I skilled her up until I got 20% AoE damage reduction, which is just crazy on a fight where a lot of the big damage is AoE. This is crucial, so it really helped me out. And other than that, I'll probably come back and I will try to skill him up at some point in the future. I'm just real low on skill crystals right now. Seems to be kind of an eternal problem since they started releasing new content. All of a sudden I had to skill up a bunch of heroes that weren't all that important before, Ferssi being one of them. But as long as you've got this Sand Aegis passive skilled up, it's really going to help you out. I think this is the big one. Rest of it is nice as well, obviously, but the skill cost on the ultimate is really big, I think, so you can cycle around to it quicker. But other than that, I would just mainly concentrate on getting that passive skill up. And then finally, we've got Carnelian, who is fully skilled up as well. Carnelian has 34,000 HP. She was another hero that was dying quite a bit, so I stacked HP. I think yeah, it's HP bonus. That's attack speed, obviously. Rage regen. I just wanted her to cycle back around to that ultimate as quickly as possible. It doesn't do any healing, but it provides damage reduction, which I think is more effective in a lot of cases in this game mode. Having the damage reduction really, really helped out. And being able to kind of actively use that in order to mitigate big hits that were coming really helped me kind of push my team further. Got this new Light's Grace on the left-hand side. I was lucky enough to pick up a variant Light's Grace weapon, and then I had this was crafted, I think, from the crafting materials that drop in Gear Dungeon. Well, everywhere really, but mainly in Gear Dungeon. So I got lucky with a couple of pieces of that, and I was able to put together a left side set, which is nice. Invigoration on the right-hand side. I wasn't worried about how much healing Carnelian was doing. So low attack, only 9k attack, but 588 attack speed, 132 healing effect. Rage regen is at a whopping 116.5, and then if you add in the golden scarab, that goes up to 166.5, and then you add in the 40-ish or so rage regen from the Pantheon that I get, and Carnelian is over 200% rage regen. I know that people have said that you get diminishing returns from that. Based on the character screen, I don't think that's the case. On her basic attacks, which are these right here, her speed is so high that she's doing them constantly, and she doesn't have to have. So the unique thing about Carnelian too, and I think that this is really important, especially when you're considering other healers, right, is that other healers will typically are only going to be healing if there is healing to be done, but Carnelian just continuously kind of shoots her orbs at everybody, regardless of whether or not there's healing to be done. And so she can just churn through rage really, really quickly. And I was able to get that ultimate up really, really fast often, and it really helped me mitigate a lot of hits. Obviously, the unkillable that she provides to everybody was key to this run working as well. So she was a key linchpin for sure. But in any case, guys, that is my comp. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be coming out with a kind of a guide over the weekend where I kind of walk you through how I did this in kind of the tips and tricks, I guess, of what I learned as I was putting this team together. I hope it helps you guys out. Actually, as I'm thinking about this, that may have to wait till next week because I can't actually bring any of these heroes into Guild Boss. I wish they had, or Guild Boss 2, excuse me. I wish they had a playtest mode like they do for Guild Boss 1. Maybe something we can all suggest on the official Discord. But as soon as I'm able to, I will be putting that out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I know this is a long one, so if you stuck through it to the end, I appreciate you even more than the rest. That's right. You're my favorite. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Please do like and subscribe. I will catch you all next time.